So yes, I've only just upgraded my harvesters. I know, embarrassing, right? I've left them for weeks thinking that I didn't want to use my build bots in case something came out HU 18.3 wise, and I waited and waited, and then honestly, I just forgot about it. I didn't even bother. So crystals wise, see there 1,500, but it's not all like amazing crystals, guys. So saving on my freebies, my big there's two things that I say a lot in this channel. If you don't need it, save it. That's one of the big ones. And the other thing that I say is new content should always be better than old content. That's the two things I sort of stand by. And I get quoted on them two things quite a lot. But yeah, if you don't need it, save it, guys. So I don't need these free crystals and anything like that. I've got some small loot crates. I've got some chips for G1 cores. I don't need any G1 cores really. I've just gone and chased Robuster and got that this month. But don't really need any. But I'm saving all these. And you might say, well, why not just open them and they're good fusing material? But I don't need anything for fusing material. I've got loads. So what I like to do is, again, I don't need it, so I'm saving it, and then hopefully when some new cores come out, and again, I have not got any inside information. When I say this sometimes, people think that I know something. I don't, but I am good at reading into things. Now, when were the last cores that came out? So we had the Prime cores come out not long ago. But other than that, when's the last cores that we had out? I think the last cores that we had out was the high velocity shells. God knows when that was. That was years ago. So I expect them to bring out some more cores of some kind at some point. And I just want to be ready. You know, when the new mines come out. Actually, it might be that, actually. Yeah, the new mines. The new anti-transformation mines. So when they came out, I had so much stuff saved up. Like Shaniks and cores. That literally on the day of release, I had to think about 3 of them in G Metal maxed out on the day of release. So it's always good to be ahead of the curve rather than going chasing things that are almost impossible to get. So I try and save some resources. So I save my cores. But listen, guys, if you haven't got like I mean, I don't max out my cores in max, but most of them around 18, 19. And we'll get them all to 19. Let's decide this other day. Get them all to 19. I've got resources to do it. Why not? But if you haven't got a maxed out base, if you haven't got all the prime cores on attack, then don't start saving stuff, guys. You're not at that level yet. You need to, use them resources to get higher and get things. But I'm at a stage in my game life cycle that I don't really need much. To give you an idea of the new players that have got quite a few 5 stars. Most of these are close to being maxed-ish, around 67-ish, something like that. Some of these I don't even use. I've just cashed in my Kremzeek canisters because the acid Kremzeeks are available in the old canisters but not in the rewards. The VIP, I don't want to call them VIP anymore, but the VIP rewards, they're not in them, but they are in the old canisters, so you can open them, guys, and now get your green Kremzeeks. Combat chips, again, don't really need them. I've got all the combats that I want, so saving them. So again, I've got 500 prems there. No real use for them other than getting shards. But then again, I've got more than enough shards as well. So not many bots that I want. Into the combat chips, I've got most of them that I want. Again, I don't really want kunai. So I'm saving these for when Sense's weapon comes in. Hopefully it needs 5-star shards. Shaniks, saving them. Don't really need them really for Spark really. In terms of Spark, I've just used a lot of Spark. That's the lowest my Spark's been for a long time. So I've got 1.5 million in inventory. But I've also got another 1.5 million in achievements. That's a good tip as well for new guys. So if you, well, not new guys, but people that are sort of maxing out on Spark, try and keep your Spark in the achievements section and not claim it. It will just stay there, guys. It doesn't get put into inventory, so you can literally put your inventory to 3.999 mil and have that as well and use that, and you can use it whenever you need to, but right now I don't really need to. Spark, so I am saving Combiner Spark for the new Combiner, but just remember, guys, that when you get the new Combiner, if you're going to coin the new Combiner, then you need to save your Spark. You need to. But once you start getting this new Combiner, it's going to be in the lab for a long time. So the Combiner Spark costs are very, very low to start with. So you'll use some, put them in the lab, use some, put them in the lab. I think I worked it out as about 6 months before he's maxed out. 6 months of constantly in the lab. And you got to think how much combiner spark you're going to gain over 6 months. So if you're at like 2.5, 3 mil combiner spark, you might as well use a bit, because that 2.5, 3 mil is going to be sat there. And trust me, by the time you maxed him, you're probably going to have another 2.5, 3 mil still left over. So I would say maybe a mil and a half mil to start leveling him in that process. I won't be too worried if you got that much. And in terms of combat spark, so I don't like taking my combats to 10 unless they're really, really good combats. As you can see there, we've got 1.8 mil. We've got it in reserve. So our dial is still at level 1. So when I pulled dial, I said this guy's staying at level 1 until he gets a buff. And I stand by that, and I refuse to level this guy. Refuse. He's staying at level 1 until he gets a buff. And he will literally stay there. Just on principle.